giving yourself a chance to listen to your own voice because you are spending too much time consuming the voice of everybody else. And here's the thing, good marketers are very certain. Good marketers can be very convincing.
You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in.
There is something you can do that will completely change your energy. It will completely change the way that you show up for your business and the way that you show up for yourself in your life. And it's actually so fucking easy. And that is putting the appropriate boundaries around your social media. And not only will this just improve everything about your life, about your personal life, about your business, about your creativity, but it will also help you immensely with your imposter syndrome. I have a lot of clients that get caught up in this narrative of, I shouldn't have to mute people. I shouldn't have to block people. So first and foremost, we're talking about, okay, randoms on the internet, okay? And the reason why you should mute people, block them, unfollow them, whatever fucking works for you is first, energy is real. And the transmission of energy is real. And when you do not protect your energy properly, this does not mean that you're not resilient, that you can't handle things that are thrown your way, because there is going to be a lot of that, especially having a business and you're working with a lot of people. There is inevitably going to be some energy transmitted and spilled, okay? That's okay. But in these spaces that you can actually control it, right? You can just not be affected by social media because you can choose to not look at it. It's like watching the news. So in April, my hydro went out. We had a huge ice storm. I live in Canada, you guys know this. And we had an ice storm that knocked out our power. It completely knocked out our power for a week, like 6 days. That is the longest we have ever gone without power. Luckily, me and my husband were able to go to my parents' house and they have a generator. So we were rescued on like day 1.5 of not having any hydro. And luckily we were able to stay with them. I stayed with my grandparents in my parents' house. It was fun. It was fun. It was an experience, actually. It was really nice to be in a house with my parents and my grandparents. It was really nice, even though me and my grandma, who is English, butt heads like no other because we are exactly the same. So something about my grandparents that I realized was they turn on the news and they listen to the news all day. All day. And the state of the world right now is pretty crazy. It is very tumultuous. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of shitty things happening in the world. And while we can become and be aware of it, we do not have to be immersed in it 24/7. But they're the older generation. That's the kind of thing that they consume. And that's also all they fucking talk about. So I had to protect my energy. And I had to make sure that I was in a different room or I had headphones on. Or I even said at some point, can you guys turn that off? Like, can you watch something else like fucking Coronation Street or something like that? Can you please not watch the news all day? And I'm saying this because I could communicate to them, but I was in charge of my own energy and I had to protect what I could protect. Now, in a lot of situations with coaches, the people we're working with, if we're networking, and when we're working with clients, we don't always have the option to protect our energy the way that we can by completely like muting out people on social media. So there are a lot of like energetic ways I share with clients that I protect and preserve my energy when working with other people. But again, when it's working with clients and with other people, these things are sometimes unavoidable and things are going to come up that we have to be resilient to. But your social media is something that is sacred. Your social media is your home. Your social media is your place where you can go and be completely yourself, sell your programs, and be fully fucking you. And you do not realize how this is activating your imposter syndrome when you allow yourself to scroll, when you allow yourself to go over to the explore page. And I have done this many times before. Go over to the explore page and see what that 7-figure coach is saying, to see what this coach is saying. There is so much fucking noise online, you guys. There is so much noise. And when you are consumed in the noise, you cannot hear your own voice. You cannot hear your own intuition screaming at you. And if you are struggling with imposter syndrome and comparison, here is something that you need to hear from me, okay? You are more creative than you give yourself credit for. You have more ideas than you even realize. But you tell yourself that you're actually not, but it's because you've never given yourself a chance to be creative or given yourself a chance to listen to your own voice because you are spending too much time consuming the voice of everybody else. And here's the thing, good marketers are very certain. Good marketers can be very convincing. And not to say if you're looking to hire somebody and you're genuinely looking for support, that it's not important to go and see their content, see the type of shit that they're talking about. I think that there really is a time and a place to consume somebody else's content. But you have to be cognizant of it for yourself. When you are venturing into the territory of, oh, I should talk about this or I should do that. Oh, because she said it, now I can say it too. Oof, that's a big one. Thinking that you can't say the thing that you really believe or the thing that you really think, but then you see somebody who's making more than you and she said it and you're like, fuck, I had that thought first. I literally had that thought first and I should have posted it, right? You will find yourself unconsciously copying other people and unconsciously telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not creative, I don't know what I'm talking about, when you do not set appropriate social media boundaries with yourself and with other people. Now, the other side of things too is what happens when there's people like our family or friends or people that you don't necessarily want to see your shit. It feels vulnerable. It feels like, oh my God, they're going to see that I'm talking about my offers and being confident, talking about my wins, talking about money, right? This can feel very confronting. It can feel very vulnerable. It can feel very weird. And I hear that. And you want to know what I have to say about that? And I don't give a fuck about it? Block them. Hide them. Do whatever you need to do. But if you're literally holding yourself back and not saying the things that you want to say because you're in your ego and you think, I shouldn't have to mute them, I shouldn't have to block them, shut the fuck up. What are you here to do? You are here to make an impact with your words, with your energy, with who you are. And you're literally allowing your friend from high school or somebody from high school who isn't even your friend now and they just stumbled upon your shit, right? Or maybe it's your mom or maybe it's your dad or your sister or something like that. I have a joke with my entire family. I'm like, yeah, you guys can't see any of the Instagram stories that I upload. And they're like, what? Because they don't really care. But even if they did, I wouldn't care. Because that is how I allow myself to go fucking hard. That is how I allow myself to be my fullest expression of Coach Jill, right? Because there is a version of you that's at home, at the dinner table, during a holiday, hanging out with your cousins or hanging out with your siblings or your grandparents or your parents. There is a different version of you that your family gets to see, that even your friends get to see, right? I'm not fucking Coach Jill when I'm hanging out with my girlfriends out at dinner, yapping and talking shit, right? That is not Coach Jill, but I allow myself to be fully authentically me and fully authentically Coach Jill online. And if there is even a thought of somebody seeing this or whatever, nope, I just clean it up, because nothing is worth me not being able to fully express myself. And I don't get into the ego or the like superiority thing of being like, well, if you were all healed, you wouldn't have to do that. I don't fucking care. Like, this is actually just me protecting my space. And I feel the same way about like people that cold DM you, right? Or like try to come in, try to say something to you. It's like, Jill, what do you do about these people? When I'm feeling frisky, when I'm feeling like frisky, I feel like that's the wrong word to say in this situation. When I'm feeling spicy, there are some times that I will respond because I have the time and I'm like, I don't care. This is fun. But like 99% of the time, I delete them, I block them. If somebody follows me that like I know is just, you can just tell when it's someone who's like, I help business coaches scale, blah, 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 blah. And it's like a guy, and it's just so unauthentic. It is not the kind of person that you're even talking to, blah, blah, blah. And then like, if you were to go into your request folder, you would see something from the saying like, I've been looking at your content for years. And it's like, you literally just followed me today. What the fuck? Anyways, these people, I block them as soon as I see it. I'm like, you know what? Like, this isn't worth my energy. It really isn't. So I just eliminate it. Hey Queen, I'm interrupting this podcast episode to invite you to join the From Imposter to Empowered program, where you're going to overcome the mindset shit that's holding you back, the imposter syndrome, the self-doubt, the fear of being seen, the fear of being visible. And so you can get so clear on how you help your clients and actually feel like you can help them. So you can show up, sell, and sign high-ticket clients into your offers. This is my group mentorship program that is open year-round. You get access to bi-weekly coaching calls, a Telegram channel where I jump in and support you 2 times a week. So I'm in there responding to Q&A, I'm dropping riffs, and on top of all of the support, you also get access to the curriculum, which is a mindset and marketing curriculum that is just going to blow your fucking mind. It's so extensive. And you get access to my courses on content, on sales, on launching, on money mindset. There are so many amazing features to this program, but honestly, it's going to be the coaching that is going to be the reason why you join, because you know that you're struggling with imposter syndrome, you know you're struggling with self-doubt, you know that you're thinking to yourself, who am I to do this? And even if you are showing up and selling, you're not being super clear on how you can help people. It feels like you're throwing shit at the wall, and you want to make money, you want to make bank, and you're going to do that inside of the From Imposter to Empowered program. So head to the link in my show notes, check out the sales page. If you have any questions at all, send me a DM at your Coach Jill. You are allowed to put up boundaries for your space, because your social media is sacred. This is your space to sell. This is your space to be seen as a leader, to share your content. And you get to create an experience that you enjoy when you go onto your page. You want it to feel like you want it to feel like your business, and whatever you need to do to make that happen, you should do it. Protect your energy on social media, especially if, you use Instagram, you have an email list, maybe you have a podcast, and really think about like, okay, the only thing that I am available for on my social media is people dropping in and saying, I'm choosing to work with you. Or they're like, I love this piece of content, and they're being genuine. People that have found your podcast or read your emails or are looking to just start a conversation about working with you, right? You will hear a lot of people, and I've had a lot of clients that come in with this problem that they get cold pitched a lot. Or there's people that will come in and say, oh, I see that you're just beginning your business, or you're not making any money. And then they get so offended and so triggered. But why don't people like me get any of those things? It's because energetically, I'm closed off to it. I don't even entertain those conversations. I don't even let it get to that point. But also because energetically, I don't allow it. So where in your energy are you allowing people to come into your space? Whether it's directly through your DMs or with you going onto the explore page, with you scrolling and you outsourcing your creativity to somebody else. Talk about making yourself feel like even more like a fraud. But looking at someone else's content and thinking, I like the way she said that, I'm gonna upload something that is very similar to that. Because you subconsciously think, this is the thing that's going to help me to sign more clients, to make more money, right? And you guys don't need to hear me fucking say this because you've heard it a million times over, but social media is a highlight reel and people lie. And how you see things online in your explore page, you have just as much creativity, you have just as much potential, but you're not activating it. So this is what I want you to do. Instead of scrolling, going onto the explore page, I want you to instead take that as a cue, because if you have the time to scroll, if you have the time to look at the explore page, whatever, you have the time to queue up a training from your coach. You have the time to be intentional about the thing that you are consuming. So for example, I will go on a nice long walk, or I'll walk on my walking pad, and I will intentionally listen to a podcast of somebody who I respect, or it's my coach. I am not just like blindly looking for like something that somebody said so I can repurpose it later, right? That's not why I am reading stuff. That's not why I'm listening to stuff. I am doing those things because I want to be activated, because I want to further my own personal evolution, because I want to raise my energy and get pumped up, right? So I can then go into a content writing session fucking ready to go, right? But I'm not using it to repurpose somebody else's work. And maybe that's the difference for you, is you are like, oh, fuck, I'm doing that. I'm only listening to a training because I want to know what to talk about today. And it's like, fuck, if that's what's happening, we need to reel back, and you need to go more inwards and allow yourself to really see yourself as like a qualified leader that has something to say, because it's coming from you. And all of this really does stem from being very intentional with how you are on social media, because social media for you is not like it is for your friends. You know, it's not like you're just watching reels. It's just like a fun, silly little time. You're seeing what Instagram stories your friends are uploading. It's a business for you. It is a part of business. I literally hardly scroll at all, because I know that, like, to me, it's not something that is like personal. It's not how I like unwind. It is a business task. It is something that I do specifically inside of the business. So is scrolling really going to be a productive activity for me? Absolutely not. And it's not for you either. Love you guys.
Hey babe, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Screenshot it and put it on your stories and tag me at your coach Jill. And if you really love me, you'll rate and review the podcast. And if you screenshot it before you submit the review and send it to me, I will send you a free gift on me. If you want to take this work deeper, come and work with me in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind. And finally, if you want just a snippet of my work to feel what it's like to be in my world, then you need to buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and you can get that on Amazon. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week.